The environmental impacts that I saw that disturbed me were all of the incursions into the wetlands.
When somebody's gone there and kind of seen it, I think the first question is, well, what do we do? You know? And there's no solution. There's no answer to that.
I don't remember how many football fields per day or second they're losing, but it's huge.
One thing that was really clear being there is that it's put the focus on environmental issues on a larger scale for me.
The economy is so poor in that region that they're willing to do almost anything for the sake of jobs. And it's obviously a false choice, but that's where they've driven themselves.
Because it's not just about an oil spill in the Gulf. We're just making these choices that continue to create these dependent lifestyles that are dependent on this resource that in the end is really destructive.
Oregon for a couple of years had a moratorium in place on offshore drilling for oil and natural gas. Well, it came to my attention late in 2009 that that moratorium was expiring. And in fact, in January of 2010, it did expire. So I introduced in February of 2010 a bill to extend that moratorium.
I think it's an incredibly important action, and I'm proud that OLCV and other groups were involved.
62 days later, we saw a tragic reminder of why that bill is so important when the Gulf spill took place.
Well, it was a hugely important bill, I think, both from a practical standpoint and a symbolic standpoint.
It was not a slam dunk. You had the oil and natural gas industry coming into the Oregon Capitol, and we needed all the support we could get to pass that bill. And OLCV's resources and efforts, the fact they made it a priority, had a significant role in our ability to pass the bill.
Well, I think we're at a really special moment in time here when the public is finally coming to appreciate that we've been fed a false choice for many years about jobs or the environment.
The environment is really leading a lot of the emerging industries in our state.
500 homes remodeled for energy efficiency through Clean Energy Works resulted in $6.4 million in private investment, employment for 381 workers, average wages nearly $25 an hour. These are entry-level jobs and career pathway jobs.
It's okay to be concerned about profit. It's okay to be concerned about a business that's going to be successful over the long run. And in fact, better business over the long run is being sustainable, is being responsible.
Intel is the largest purchaser of renewable energy in the United States, including building our own photovoltaic arrays on the top of Jones Farm building here.
For me, the thing that I think about all the time is the fact that we're sending literally billions of dollars every year from Oregon to other parts of the world to buy energy.
I think government has a really critical role, particularly right now where we're in the position of having to reinvent our economy.
We can do this. We can protect the environment and protect people too.
We also can do it to restore our economy. It comes together. It's not a conflict.
When you use electricity or you use gas or you use oil, there's an inevitable harm that comes from that.
We on planet Earth are consuming 1.5 times the Earth's current resources, and if we continue behaving as we have, by the end of the decade we're going to be consuming 2x planet Earth.
All these things that we're talking about right now are maybe going to affect us in 5 years, and most certainly going to affect us in 15, 20. And we're the generation that's going to get stuck with these things.
Ultimately, the economy is a subsidiary of the ecology, and we all are living inside an environment. So to the extent that we can take care of our environment, we're going to be able to perpetuate our future in a healthy way.
So my dad believed that Oregon was such a special place that there was no reason to leave Oregon when you were going on vacation. And I have a very distinct memory of driving out to Harney County, to the Steens Mountain area, and standing on the edge and looking down over the Alvord Desert and really thinking it was amazing to me that that place was in the same state as where my grandmother lives in Coos Bay.
In the 90s, I started fly fishing. Like a lot of people, I saw the Brad Pitt movie. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a fly fisherman. It's great. I was dating my wife Carol at the time, and we would go to the Metolius on weekends. and I was trying to learn how to fly fish. I still, by the way, have yet to catch a fish in that damn river. It was where we fell in love, was going up camping around Oregon together.
That's one of the most wonderful things about Oregon, is it's really part of our DNA. It's part of who we are as Oregonians.
I won 3rd place in the Earth Day poster contest in my school. And I really think to this day it got me very excited about the environment.
I see us as temporary custodians of the land that we farm. And our responsibility is to farm it thoughtfully, intelligently, and to pass it on to our children and our great-grandchildren.
If we don't take care of these kind of gems in our life, that we will lose them, and my children, my grandchildren, and 7 generations out won't have this.
Plastic bags are everywhere.
One day my daughter and I were driving back from the Wallowas, and there was something blowing up in the air, and we couldn't figure out. It wasn't a bird. Turns out it was a Safeway bag.
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Coos Bay and you go to the grocery store and somebody goes paper or plastic, you're like, what? Paper, that's somebody's job. What are you talking about? Paper, always paper.
We don't need plastic bags in our landfills, and we don't need them tying up our recycling sorting machines either.
It's Senate Bill 536, and what it would do would ban plastic bags at retailers in Oregon, and they'd be replaced by recyclable bags.
You know, a lot of the credit, and I give it to Senator Hass. He and I have really faced really strange opposition to this bill.
Well, the plastics industry is formidable.
Huge money out of state calling names and personal attacks.
And they come into these states like Oregon with millions of dollars in lobbyists, PR people. I can't fight that without an organization like OLCV. That's my force. That's what I have to go to war with these guys. And it is a war. They are coming in here full force because they see Oregon as that first domino to fall, and they know there's trouble.
I think OLCV is doing great work this session. I'm particularly excited about the work on a bill to ban BPA.
As we saw that some of the products we use have estrogen-like products in them, we realized we need to start getting those out of our environment, out of our products, especially for women who are pregnant and for babies.
Environmental justice would dictate that not everyone has the same access to the same products. So this year, you know, with it drawn the way it is and being narrowly focused really at children, I couldn't not be on it.
I think every legislator in this building knows that they have to toe the line on the environment, and there's a legacy and a history of that in Oregon. If they don't, they know that they're going to be hearing from some folks.
You have to earn a vote with your scorecard here and your behavior here.
It is safe to say that I would not have won my primary election without the help of Oregon League of Conservation voters.
I wouldn't even be in office if not for several precincts that OLCV adopted for me.
We're really excited to have Oregon League of Conservation voters participating in a project where the environmental community will connect with communities of color, listen to their needs and issues, and see how there could be common connections.
The organization is like a conscience. You know, it's kind of like, I don't want to say a guilty conscience, but it's like if you're not telling the truth, don't look directly at your mother.
OLCV is where the environmental hope, I think, for Oregon resides. That's the group that is going to push an agenda that will make this a better place.
When we have a legislature that dares to step up and protect the public interest and protect the environment, others take notice, and it sends a ripple out nationwide. The bottle bill is a great example of that. I hope plastic bags will be the same, but the culture and context for lawmaking in Oregon matters a great deal. OLCV is asking legislators to step up, be bold, take on tough issues, collaborate, innovate, experiment, and do it right, send a message across the country.